Good morning. This is day 35 of Coffee and MTG. Better brew yourself up a cup of magic because we're about to you have questions, I've got answers. You got deck lists, I review them. Let's have some nice conversations about Magic the Gathering here today. What can I do here right now? Just setting myself up. Yeah, what is this? 35 divided by 5. That's 7 weeks we've been doing this. That is amazing. Just absolutely amazing that we've been doing this for so long. And it's been so successful. So many people and regulars are watching the show and enjoying it and contributing, giving their comments, asking questions. I love it. And so long as everybody else loves it, let's keep doing this. So what am I looking for right now? I just realized I'm not signed into Twitch, which can help update the title of today's video. Twitch.tv/Nikachu MTG. So let me get to my thing. Oh, edit stream info. That's what I want. Oh, we're already there. Excellent. But I want to change the category though. Magic. This is a magic show. No, that talk and chat thing. Excellent. Beautiful. All right. I'm all set up. Are you all set up? I'm fired and ready to go. I'm really excited. I'm even more excited about my setup. I was like wondering, you know what? My setup is a bit too dark. I can't see myself even in my own video. I need another light. And I'm like, I already own another light. Team WoW bought me these things for my birthday. So I have one light up here, one light up here without destroying the floodlights. The floodlights are still good. They still look nice and purpley and blue. It's gorgeous. So I'm very happy with the setup right now. We are looking all good. I'm all set up. Courtesy is all set up. Where are you? Am I back? Am I back? Good morning. Good morning, rodent. Good morning, courtesy. I think we're back. We're back. We're live. We're back in business. I wasn't in business a few seconds ago, but I'm in business again now. I hope my Twitch name. Yes. All right. We're back. I don't know what's wrong with my internet. Like my internet's doing this to me lately, and I'm not happy about it. I don't know how to solve it. I think I had like a Windows update to my computer, and then all of a sudden my internet is like really spotty, really crappy. Like sometimes it's good. Like okay, it's usually pretty good, and then all of a sudden I lose connection, and the only way I can get connection back is I like put my computer to sleep and then wake it back up, and then boom, I'm back to where I was before. But that's annoying, and I can't tell what's crashing my internet. And if anyone's like a computer specialist out there or internet technician, I'm all ears about what I have to do. As far as I'm concerned, I have the latest drivers for my motherboard. As far as I'm concerned, I have a computer, but it's not plugged into the router because the router is like on the completely other side of the condo. And so I have to use the Wi-Fi, and everything was doing really well until a few days ago. And now my stream is acting all wonky and stuff like that. Oh, Rodent just subscribed. Thank you, Rodent. Thank you. Thank you very much. Do I have any? I need to make a banner for this. Create banner. How do I make a heart? Was it with like a 3? Thank you for Thank you. here. Ta-da! Okay, that's what I got for now until I have a much more rugged, better setup. But that's what we're gonna do for the time being. For my thank yous, ideally I have something more flashy for this show, but this is the best I can do at the moment. But anyway, thank you very much, Roden, for your subscription. Where is all right? So I got chat here. All right. Yeah, internet caught COVID. I don't understand what the hell is going on here. Maybe the Russian bots hates the merfolk community. Everyone's after me. Oh, sweet emoji. Sweet emoji. Jumpstart is extremely disappointing for merfolk, like everything else once was. Well, what can I say? They benefit us. You know, there's a lot of tribes out there, and I don't know if we are a loud enough community for them to hear us. Maybe we're an incredibly isolated community. Maybe we need to hang out more on Mark Rosewater's Tumblr, because apparently he's like the direct link into what gets designed at Wizards of the Coast. And so, and you know, there's so many different tribes and communities crying for things. You know, the commander, you know, they're printing so many of these multicolored legendary cards strictly for the commander player base. And I'm sure that, like, I don't know, maybe there's a goblins community that's like crying out for more help, hence why they got some help in Modern Horizons, hence why they're getting more help right now. And it's actually going to be a really big deal. So Mrs. Merfolk hogging bandwidth with her Grey's Anatomy. Good morning, Kiosk. Kiosk changing the number every few days. What's up with that, Kiosk? So Kiosk has been here, like, you know, every single day, a staple of the Coffee and MTG show. If you're and you know what we do on this Coffee and MTG show? We ask questions, I give answers, and we brew ourselves up a nice cup of coffee or tea or Slurpee if it's really hot wherever you are. Okay, Monster CC, let's say I get the Ethernet cable. How long does this thing need to be? Like, it's enormous, and I don't want to be tripping over it on like other places of the condo. I have no idea how to direct that cable from my computer where it is to where the Ethernet is. I don't know. Maybe I've got to call my internet service provider, get somebody down to help move the cable, put it somewhere else. But like, I don't know what my options are here, unfortunately. We're just way too silent than the doggo community. Yeah, apparently. Dogs not only have they're going to come out in big force, and maybe they're going to get a lot of more help in the future. Like, dogs now has a very like, what is that new one? What's the new doggy? There's the Dog Lord Core 2021. New Dog Lord. Pack Leader, of course. Pack Leader. Look at this thing. Look at this. Why is another Pack Leader showing up? Oh, I haven't shared my screen. Look at this thing. Okay. Doesn't even cost double white. Only a white and one generic. 2/2 creature for that white and one generic. Other dogs you control get +1/+1. So you got a Lord for only one color of mana. I don't know. Well, I mean, I guess Slivers has been in that range as well. Whenever Pack Leader attacks, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn to dogs you control. So you have nothing to lose to just willy-nilly attack into your opponent. My God, we, as Merfolk players, not only do we have to wait for Island Walk through Spreading Seas, not only do we need the Island Walk Lord, but we also need the Island Walk Lord to survive through combat to guarantee the damage. Pack Leader just basically says, all right, let's Alpha Strike. Alpha, Alpha, Alpha. Alpha you. Everyone gets an Alpha. Just Alpha Strike because you have nothing to lose. I mean, you won't have any blockers. Well, you can leave blockers. You just prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn to dogs you control. So, like, you just attack with Pack Leader. And also, doesn't that just say, like, you basically, this creature alone is indestructible? You can attack into anything. So other dogs you control get +1/+1, but Pack Leader itself can just attack because it just helps itself. So you can start the game off with Pack Leader and then back it up with a bunch of other creatures. Pack Leader is busted. Pack Leader is incredibly strong. I don't think there's any other Dog Lords, so they still probably need another enabler before this becomes a very serious archetype. But at the moment, like, I mean, this is really, really strong. You know, they don't really print that much for you know what's hilarious? Goblins got so many upgrades with Modern Horizons. So many upgrades. It's busted as far as I'm concerned. Or they also reprinted really important staples into Modern. And like when it came to Merfolk, they printed 1 million Merfolk, and like most were just trash, and just a few were like even remotely playable. So anyway, Pack Leader out there doing the thing. Hey, Willie Hall's here. Good morning, Willie Hall. Yes, it is Pack Leader. This card is insane. Casual GC. I've been digging the streams. I'm just going to miss them when I have to stop working from home in July. Well, there's still going to be the replays. There's still going to be... Oh, by the way, like the schedule of the stream is not fixed. The time of the stream is like a lot later than I would prefer it to be. I would prefer it actually to be 2 hours earlier, but I have a class at 9 o'clock, and do you know what? When that class is done for, we might have the stream at a different time, especially for July. So July's schedule could be different, and it still might be in time for you to catch it in the morning before you go to work. So just letting everyone know, the schedule right now is just for June. But it's going to change definitely when my class is over, because this is just a morning class. I couldn't avoid it at all. I need this class to graduate, and so yeah, I prefer to get it over with now than later. But like in July, I'm going to have classes that are way deeper in the evening, and we don't have to worry about this stuff anymore. Oh yeah, we have a new PC, Mystical Pot, and some people have asked me, you know, was it custom made? Was it pre-built? It was custom made. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Kira's is a reprint in Jumpstart. So we're gonna have Kira in Historic. Hopefully it's Kira in Historic. That's interesting. That's a very interesting revelation. Let's see, I wonder if they have it already. Not that I'm in love with this card right now. So here's Kira, an ally of the Merfolk. Flying, creatures you control have, whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability for the first time per turn, counter that spell. Has been an ally of the Merfolk for a very long time, has done very well. But right now is like a lot weaker for Modern, and I don't know if it's going to have a place in Historic, because Historic is not very attrition-based. Historic is very super aggro or super control, nothing really in between. So Kira may or may not be a very good fit. Good toolbox card. It's nice that we have that available, but I haven't played Kira in a very long time, mostly because like things like Walking Ballista just undermine Kira very well, Lava Dart, and so on. Very few good... Like, targeted removal is not where you want to be anymore. Now it's like Ice Fang Quaddle, for example, in Modern. So there's a lot of... The Kira's not protecting you from nearly as much as it used to. And she's a pretty crappy clock in her own right, but, you know, whatever. Good afternoon, Nikachu. It's my birthday tomorrow, hence the 620. All right, sweet. Hope that's good for you. Happy birthday. Let's all welcome Kyoka. Let's all give Kyoka 620 a happy birthday. Good morning, Drakenar. We are just way too silent in the doggo community. Yes, that's right. So, you know, and if you want to see Willie Hall, like we just played a bunch of 2X Modern, the format that I'm just experimenting with at the moment, where you can only play, everything's unbanned for Modern, but you can only play 2X of any card. Can't play 4. Waters down the inconsistency. I've got 2 videos up now, Merfolk versus Infect, which Willie Hall played, the Infect side, Blazing Shoal Infect, mind you. And also, I just published a Jund video, so check that out when you have time. Willie Hall played Punishing Fire Jund, basically, with Grove of the Burned Willows. And it was fair. It was fair. Like, it was completely fair. It didn't feel busted. It felt like Modern. It was great. A lot of people are interested in it. And so I don't have, like, any big long-term plans of trying to support this. But if there's a lot of organic support, you know, I highly recommend that you try playtesting this with your friends or challenging other people into X Modern and see where it goes from there. Woof woof charge. Even pirates and minotaurs got their own lord. Let's hope for good stuff for our tribe. They even reprinted Kira in a world of walking ballista. Yeah. I know and agree that the best possible card for us would be a Merfolk of the Parish, but what do you think about a Merfolk Spell Queller? It would be good. I would take it. I would take it. I wouldn't mind. It would definitely help. Being able to, instead of playing Deprive, well, Deprive counters things like Primeval Titan, but still having access to a Merfolk that would be a counterspell at the same time, I think would be valuable. It would definitely be valuable. Mikey J says they printed a Goblin Future Sight with legs. That's also a combo piece for 2 mana. What the fuck is going on at Wizards of the Coast? I don't know. They are probably, like I said, I don't know, different. Wizards of the Coast, or like, the thing is, we always say like Wizards of the Coast at large, but really it's like this certain group of people in R&D that are in control of these things. And, the mentality and the philosophy of Magic and how constructed is played changes depending on those teams, those leadership positions. And there's like a lot of people in R&D, but some people have more influence than others at different periods of time. And there are some that want to consider the impact that it has on Modern and Legacy and so on. And then there are others that are like, fuck it, like who cares about Modern and Legacy? Let's just focus on Standard. And so what we see in this Goblin right now is a direction where, and we're talking about, what is this Goblin called? If we're going to be talking about this, what's the Goblin called, people? Help me, what's the new Goblin? Oh, I can just look up Core 2021 Goblin. Google's a hell of a thing, isn't it? Google's really good. Conspicuous Snoop. I strongly believe that a card like Conspicuous Snoop exists probably just for Standard. Like, they built it for Standard, not really considering the impact for Modern or Legacy. And like, whatever, it does something in Modern and Legacy, great. Whatever. Legacy is a shithole as it is. But the format that you rock the most probably is Modern, because Modern has like the weakest tools to deal with any particular fast combos and stuff like that. Like, we don't have Force of Will here. The best we got is Thoughtseize. And yeah, so, and we're gonna have to wait and see how busted this is, because I understand, yeah, you can win the turn. You can win the game with this thing pretty quickly by turn 3, but you can still interact with it with like removal. You cast, what is it, Goblin, Martyr, Goblin, I can't remember what the 3 mana Goblin is, but Conspicuous Snoop on the battlefield, this other Goblin, you can just interact with it, kill it, and then you do interact with the combo. So creature removal will work. The problem is it's a fast combo. I mean, it can come off by turn 3, so that's a bit fast for, I think, a lot of people. But sometimes they consider sets beyond Standard. Sometimes they don't. Has the stream had any impact on YouTube viewership? Nope. I do not think so. I think it has worked the other way around, though. YouTube viewership now impacts the stream. I do not think it works the other way. It might in the long run. Although I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm just throwing tons of stuff on my YouTube channel, and people don't have all the time in the world to watch all of it, and that does affect the YouTube algorithm. Like, if people get notifications for my videos and you're not watching them, or you're watching very little of it, it does affect the YouTube channel significantly. So anyway, that's just a dynamic I got to figure out. For a very long time, I have just freely thrown tons of garbage at my YouTube channel, and maybe I should start scaling it back. I've been thinking of things like, do I start unlisting the gameplay videos, and then I just give out notifications on Twitter and Facebook, on YouTube? Hey, here's the gameplay video. It's not public though, but you can get access to it, but it's unlisted. Those are things going through my mind right now. Don't know how everyone thinks about that, but I'm not taking any actions yet. But I have more content just being thrown at YouTube than I ever have been before. But it does affect the other way around. As I make more YouTube content, the stream on Twitch grows. So hey, if you like the stream, thank you. Let me know. Do you have any plans to expand the gameplay streams, make them longer or more frequent? No, I do not have any plans to make them longer or more frequent. Like, what do you mean by frequency? Like gameplay video every single day? What I would ideally, I would like my streams from Monday to like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, because we do have gameplay streams, by the way, people. If anyone doesn't know, we do gameplay Monday, Wednesday, Friday, basically from at the moment 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock, sometimes 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock, depending on the day. I would like enough time to get at least 2 sort of things, like, you know, like one historic, like maybe an hour of historic, 2 hours of a modern video, and then over the next 2 days I have like some sort of gameplay content to have over for the next 2 days, and then maybe have like an hour of Commander 1 versus 1, not that multiplayer stuff that's very hard to keep track of, and it's very busy looking whenever I'm watching it, and then maybe some like other modern content or historic, whatever. But it requires, like, so far I seem to only have time to do like 1 format a day. I mean, if I have time, if I get through a modern stream fast enough, I can do some historic, but aside from that, I cannot. If I have only enough time for the league, then that's it, and then that goes up. Basically, all my gameplay stuff is coming from my streams at the moment. But thanks for asking. Are there any picks and specs list? I was one of the people who offered some advice. Any picks and specs list? I don't know what you mean by that. Sorry, you have to be a little bit more specific. Kira versus Kopala versus Unsettled Mariner. I don't like either of them. I don't like any of them. I know the Merfolk community is a little higher on Unsettled Mariner at the moment, but I'm not particularly blown away by this card. Splashing just for Unsettled Mariner seems a bit soft to me, although it's not too hard to splash. You know, if you want to gut some of the blue cards, you can very easily make a 3-color deck. So maybe a Splashing Mariner doesn't have a really high cost. Oh, the Willie Halls. If you want to see the Willie Halls side of the Merfolk, like the 2x modern matches, Merfolk versus Infect, Merfolk versus Jund, his is uploading right now. Good, you can find him at the Will Hall EXP, Twitch and YouTube. That's where you know how to find him. Good morning, TFXD. Good morning, Dexter Johnson. Niels Nielsen. What tier 2 or tier 3 decks do you think could be tier 1 if someone were to put in the work? I think, great question. And that's always very entertaining to look at. Let's see, MTG top 8. And MTG top 8, show me all your lists. List me all your decks. Am I losing the internet again? Okay, no, I'm not. I'm not losing the internet. It's just MTG top 8 being stupid. Okay. Whenever anything is not loading, I get paranoid. Okay, so let's go take a look at everything that's available. These are all winning. So I think Bogles has a lot of room to improve. I think there probably is enough cards to make Bogles like a very serious deck. I think one direction of Bogles that has not been explored enough is maybe something with blue to take advantage of Force of Negation, which I think could be a decent card in the hexproof deck. Actually, this I'm a little too big. I think Bogles. There was some work done on Bogles, by the way. I think the biggest innovation for this deck was when they main decked Leyline of Sanctity. That was a really huge innovation for the archetype. Cards I'm not super impressed with are things like Core Spirit Dancer. I think that is a bad card. I think if they replace that with another hexproof creature, that would make the deck go a much longer way. I think the fact that you come on, it's modern. We've got a million removal spells. That Core Spirit Dancer sucks. I understand. Like, you know, when if it lives, it's like Mararigiri. If it lives, if you get to untap with that thing, okay, awesome. It is like the best thing in the world. But you're not going to untap with that thing. People are just going to kill it on the spot. There's so much removal, and it's like, anyway, I'm not a huge fan of Core Spirit Dancer. I think that is one of the cruxes of the archetype, and they need to just play like just another random hexproof creature. And I think the London Mulligan also actually helps this archetype by a lot, because you don't have to mulligan nearly as much to find your like combo piece. So, and you know what? I think people need to explore like a blue splash. I think that's possible, or like even go Bant. Just go Bant with this thing. So, I mean, I think if someone put in the work, they could make Boggles a very serious, dangerous deck in the metagame. Not to mention, if it runs white, they still have all the answers to everything. They have Rest in Peace, they have Stony Silence, they have everything. So I think Boggles actually has a decent chance of becoming a real deck. Death and Taxes obviously has everything. I think has everything, and if it's going to be a tough deck to pilot, make no mistake. It's like Eldrazi and Taxes. It's going to be a tough deck to pilot, but if you put in the work, and maybe you have to gut some things like that used to work all the time, like Leonin Arbiter. Maybe Leonin Arbiter is just not good anymore. Maybe it's just not what it used to be. But things like Thalia are still good, and I think White still has access to a lot of incredibly strong cards. It's the thing about decks like Death and Taxes, it's very similar to Merfolk in that we've got this terrible win condition of creatures. It's the worst win condition in Magic. You play creatures, hope they don't get countered, hope they don't get killed, hope they don't get blocked, deal damage, and you got to rinse and repeat this process until your opponent's life total goes from 20 to 0. So that makes it very difficult to win with the deck, very difficult to pilot the deck. But if someone put in the work, I think it could be good. Blue-red aggro, I'm assuming this is Delver. Delver definitely could be a deck. We saw Delver come back just recently with Lurrus. So why do we need to wait for some card like Lurrus when you could just play like Grixis Delver or something like that? You know, that we got the Sprite Dragon. So we've got like some good new cards, or even without, okay, fuck the Sprite Dragon, all right? Let's just play Soul Scar Mage, Monastery Swift Spear, just a bunch of prowess creatures. Screw the Delver, but you utilize blue cards in the deck as well, cantrips and stuff like that, some counter spells, some better removal. Anyway, you have like, it's like make it sort of like a prowess deck, but has a more of a control route. I think that's definitely possible, but needs to be worked on significantly. And those tempo decks, what we're seeing here, like, look at this. These decks always they're like creature-based decks. They're tempo decks. They don't do anything big or busted, but those tempo decks are really difficult to win with because they're tempo decks. Like, it's the hardest strategy to utilize because you need to know when you got to be aggressive, when you got to slow down and be patient, when play more of a control route. You're all over the spectrum all the time, pending your matchup, pending the board state. Very difficult decks to pilot, and therefore are very underrepresented in the metagame. Same thing with Spirits. Spirits has everything. I think Blue-White Spirits is better than Bant Spirits. Blue-White Spirits is better than Bant Spirits. Bant Spirits suffers from the problems of threat density. I really don't believe in this noble hierarchy into collected company thing. It worked at the time, but overall, I think Spirit should go blue-white. It's a much more consistent strategy, and I think it's strong. I think it's really strong and underutilized. They could do a lot better. Gruul aggro. Shouldn't this just be like Gruul period? Is this referring to Is Gruul aggro referring to the Ponza deck that we used to see a little while ago? Oh, here, Gruul Utopia. So I think Gruul aggro, forget this Gruul aggro. This was a deck that needed maybe a few more support cards, but also work. People put in the work, and now it is a deck. It used to be nothing. And Gruul aggro or red green Ponza was like the best deck in Modern for a little while, just back in March. So that didn't take too long. Did require a little help, but it got there. Goblins probably needs a completely different direction to make work. I mean, Goblin suffers from the fact that you Plague Engineer is like very dangerous, like because all the cards die to Plague Engineer. One toughness is really hard to swallow and really hard to build, I would say, in today's modern metagame. So I don't know what Goblins looks like without the one toughness creatures, but or they need a really good answer to Plague Engineer, whether maybe, I don't know, they have to utilize Thoughtseize or something, but jamming Thoughtseize seems very, very difficult. Easiest thing to do is have Lightning Bolt, but we'll see. We'll see how the new combo works out. Merfolk, of course. Jund or Rock, of course. Selesnya aggro, I have no idea what that is. Arclight Phoenix, yes. So, I mean, basically almost anything, if you put in the work, can be good. Blue-red control, we see this all the time with the pen sword. Jacob Kaminsky is on the top of the leaderboards very often just running Blood Moon, like Blue Moon. You know, he's in the top 5 playing Blue Moon. Beats everything except Eldrazi-tron. And he doesn't, you know what? He doesn't care. And he's scooping up all of the trophies. He's in the top 5 of the leaderboards for trophy leaders on Magic the Gathering Online. Look at the representation here. 1%. You would think this deck is trash. He is making a killing on Magic the Gathering Online because he's put in the work. This is proof that Blue Moon has what it takes. Jeskai Control needs a complete makeover. Someone brought up because I've mentioned a million times, I think what makes Jeskai Control, obsolete these days is that Lightning Helix is garbage and also Electrolyze is garbage. So they can't lean on these cards for value anymore in today's modern metagame. But what if you take the Fires of Invention route? Maybe that is a good direction that Jeskai should take in today's modern metagame. 4 mana, it's a 4-mana enchantment, but holy crap, if you get to untap with that, you get value immediately if it resolves. So you get to play a Planeswalker, and then if you untap, you go crazy. And it's a card that got banned in Standard, and cards that get banned in Standard usually have some power in Modern. So maybe that is a legitimate route that Jeskai Control can take. That would give it a real identity and the real power to compete in today's modern metagame. I think that is a very interesting thing to. I think that's an idea that should be explored. Screw this Lightning Helix crap and the Electrolyze crap. Play with Fires of Invention and see where it goes from there. Grixis Control, definitely that could be a deck that could become a thing. Mill, I think actually just legitimately needs a real card. Maybe there is a way, because as you say, at 2%, I always believe that a deck that can at least get to 1% just needs the right tuned deck. And maybe there are enough cards in Mill somewhere in the pool of Modern's pool of cards to make it work. But aside from that, maybe it needs another card printed to help it take it over to the top. You know what would really help Mill's identity? If milling exiled the cards. I was just thinking about that. That would probably help it a lot. Because the problem with milling is you fuel your opponent's graveyard, which is not good for most decks. Most decks want their graveyard filled up. And on top of that, it's really easy to undermine with just some card in the grave, like Emrakul, for example. Emrakul hits the graveyard and then you can never beat them. And so it's like a burn deck where as you keep damaging your opponent, you're helping them. It's like a Death Shadow thing. Burn versus Death Shadow. You keep burning your Death Shadow opponent, but the Death Shadows get bigger. And same thing with Mill. If you want to keep milling your opponent, you keep enabling their strategy in some way, because most decks utilize the graveyard. So that's a problem with Mill. Maybe if they started designing milling cards that exiled instead, that would help Mill significantly and take it over the top. But today we don't have those cards. Storm. Oh, Storm is in a tough spot. I mean, Storm, this is it might become just a metagame deck because there's so many hate cards for it. So you can only play Storm when the hate cards are gone, or you're an incredibly proficient pilot. But I think Storm overall is built really well. I don't know what other direction you can take Storm. Maybe there is, but I think Storm is built already very well. But there's just so many hate cards for it. Graveyard cards, Damping Sphere, Chalice of the Void, they're everywhere. Copycat probably could use some work. Neoform probably is at its peak. This probably just needs another card. I think this deck is very close to solved, and you can't get it much better. And it's still not doing that well, hence why they're not going to ban anything from it. Then you got Infect. Infect could definitely, I think, could use some revisions. I think they should play more Becomement. I think they should be more conscious about Chalice of the Void, and they can definitely play more pump spells that play around Chalice of the Void. So I think Infect actually does have a lot of room to change it up and grow, because they have to beat Chalice of the Void out of Eldrazi-tron. I mean, maybe they don't have to. If you want to grind ticks on Magic the Gathering Online, you can just hope to dodge Eldrazi-tron. But you're not going to dodge Eldrazi-tron at... sorry, you're not going to dodge Eldrazi-tron. Maybe I should have the question here at the bottom. You're not going to dodge Eldrazi-tron in an open event. You have to beat them. You have to play against them. Pure Steel Paladin, probably, I don't know if that's going to do good. Elves, combo Elves, you probably have to dump. You have to play some other version of Elves, and I'm not sure about Breach. But anyway, those are my opinions. Overall, my opinion is if you can get to 1%, then there's something there. There's something there that can be developed or perfected. That's my opinion on that. Great question. A lot of discussion on that. Nikachu, what are your thoughts on Dorat, the perfect pet in Modern Storm? I don't even know what that is. Dorat, this must be a new card. Oh. Oh, this is the Sprite Dragon. It could be a good transformational sideboard strategy. It could be a good transformational sideboard strategy. So let's get. What is it? Is it really called Dorat? I don't think this is really it's called Dorat. Here, can I put Sprite Dragon and get something? It's literally called Sprite Dragon. So so here it comes down to this. How much removal do people leave in? Hello. Okay, I think we're back. Do we have audio now? Pretty sure we have audio. TFXD says hi. Yes, we've got audio. Okay, we're back. Okay, so my verdict on Sprite Dragon is I gotta fix this Wi-Fi thing. If anyone is like a Wi-Fi master or an internet master, I'd love to. Everything was working fine until this one Windows update. Like, do I have to roll back my update and see like what happened, like what my computer's like before that? How do I roll back updates on Windows? Where I'll figure it out later. So because otherwise these streams are going to be unbearable. I'm going to be cutting out all the time. So my verdict on Sprite Dragon is how much removal are people keeping in post-board against Storm? Because if it's a lot, then this is not worth keeping. Their removal is still going to beat it up. But if it is not so much or very little or none, then this could be a weapon. You could have some transformational sideboard plan against the hate cards, which I like. I like that with Sprite Dragon because, you know, you're dodging in a big sense, you're dodging the graveyard hate with Sprite Dragon. You sort of dodge Chalice of the Void because at least you get some value for your spells that get countered. Sprite Dragon keeps getting bigger. And also, I don't know if you really dodge Damping Sphere, but at least you have a win condition that can help win outside of like your normal Storm plan. So I can totally see it. You got to protect this thing somehow. I don't know if you can protect it. It seems difficult. Because I do believe people are leaving in a decent chunk of creature removal post board. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Good morning, Julian. Good morning. And good morning. Good morning. Look at sup, Nikachu in chat. Sup, Hunter Bowl. Good morning, everyone. We're here for Coffee and MTG. Day 35, 7 weeks. Unbelievable. I can't believe I've been even doing this for 7 weeks. Is that right? 35 divided by 5 for each week. Yeah, 7 weeks. Unbelievable. 7 weeks go like that. Conspicuous Snoop. Yes, thank you. Mystical Pot. I just saw the video with the PC specs. I actually had seen it when I came out, but forgot. You got my favorite case at the moment, and overall great build for you. I'm glad you didn't go with what I suggested. Instead, went for the 3900X. It'll last you a long while. Thank you. I did not build this computer though. Other more smarter people built this computer. Invigorate and modern. Oh my god, you want to give Infect that much stuff? Fires of Invention could work in Jeskai control, but I still think that Dora at the perfect is important as well. If you can untap Dora, it becomes a massive creature over time. Maybe there needs to be more experimentation with this card in like all decks. Any deck that can play blue-red. Maybe that's a real thing. Hello, Reformed One Trick. Didn't I get like a I think I got Inquibi just subscribed. Thank you very much, Inquibi. Thank you. Hope you're still around. Thank you. Da 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 da. Thank you very much. I'm glad I didn't miss this. Did I miss anybody else? Hold on. Nothing else is showing up on my feed. But anyway, thank you very much for subscribing. Did I miss anyone else? I hope not. If I missed you, you let me know. You just let me know. I will personally thank you. Don't want to miss any of the subscriptions. Invisible Stalker could be Boggles' best bet. Yes, Lord Magicus, that's possible. What do you think of the percentage of tier of a deck, and what percentage of a player's skill? Very good question. So here's what it comes down to. A huge chunk of your win rate comes from your deck. In a vacuum. In a vacuum, your deck means everything. If you are not playing a tier deck, then you're going to get crushed by like if you just go to a tournament with your own brew, very likely you're just going to get smashed by tier decks. Just how it is. But here's the deal. Everyone shows up to a tournament with a tier deck. So that does not end up being the prominent factor of winning tournaments. It ends up so like if we're just talking about in a vacuum, someone showing up with like a net deck versus not net deck, you'll slaughter them significantly. But if everyone shows up to a tournament with a net deck, whether it's tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, whatever, then the determining factor is going to be how good of a player you are. Unless it's a tier 0 deck, that can end up just trumping everything. But in general, there are not usually that many tier 0 decks. So anyway, skill ends up being the most significant factor. What percentage? I will say, like, the lower in tiers that you go, the more important it is that you compensate with skill. But I could not give you an exact percentage. Maybe, sorry, I couldn't. Off the top of my head, I don't know. But I'll just say that skill overall is the most determining factor of whether you're successful or not. But the higher the tier list you go, the less you have to rely on skill because you can rely on the raw power of your deck. Boros Fist Bump. We have a second one. Today's Stormcast. Did we have another? Oh, no. Yeah. Okay. So we have. Gotcha. We had 2 subscribers. Nikachu, can I move Disrupting Shoal from my toolbox to the trade binder? Yes. It's too difficult to pull off, in my opinion. It's not the worst card in the world, but like, because I like that you can still hard cast it, you know, for double blue. So if anyone wants to know what Disrupting Shoal is, so I like with Disrupting Shoal, you don't need to use the exile card clause. You can just pay double blue and X, and it will still counter a lot of things. But still, it's I don't think it's I played this thing once to a 5-0 in a league, and that's it. I never saw play again. If Boggles were to splash blue, would they play Invisible Stalker? That probably is their best bet. Yes, they should play Invisible Stalker. Just remind everyone, thank you for joining me today. These are great questions, great conversation. And if you're finding this stream valuable, give a like on the replay on YouTube. Otherwise, how do you show support in Twitch? I don't know, make comments, send out the emojis or something. On YouTube, you give a like. On Twitch, you give a follow or something. I don't know. But you can only follow once. You can't like unfollow and follow again. That it doesn't help. I can tell when my audio cuts out. That's when everyone loves to contribute to the chat. What deck would you say is the best balance of good and stable in Modern? Good and stable? It depends on your definition of stable dataless streaming. Probably Grixis Shadow is a pretty good and stable deck. Like, that is a deck that has stood the test of time and has just always been, like, around. Eldrazi seems to be also a very good and stable deck. It's gotten a few bannings, but like banning seems to have not phased it at all. So anyway, I'm not sure. And another good deck maybe is like maybe Burn. Burn, I would say, is not always stable just because like the metagame can hate it out when it wants to. But aside from that, that is also a deck that has just always been around and is always good. Has also stood the test of time at like a pretty good chunk of the metagame. Try changing your Wi-Fi password first. Okay, I will try that. Oh, we're getting tons of subscriptions now. Oh, thank you, KNTO85 for subscribing. Thanks for BDTRM for subscribing. Oh, we're getting all the subscriptions. Oh, let's get the banner out. The banner. Thank you. The thank you banner with the happy face. I don't know what else to apply to this banner. Thank you very much. Am I missing any? Might be missing another one. Oh, but thank you. Thank you very much for supporting the stream, supporting the, and supporting coffee. That's for sure. Because I'm certainly not getting sponsored by any producer of coffee at the moment. I sent in the request, didn't happen. Draconar got a 5-0 posted today for mono blue. It's labeled as blue. Again, MTG Goldfish, what is up with you? Do you have some problem? Do you have a problem? You want to take it up with me? I don't know. Some things you just can't change. Some things you just can't change. It's just how it is, unfortunately. So Tuxdev does not believe in the alternate plan to be a creature in Storm. Maybe it depends on the matchup. Like if you're up against a matchup with like very little creature removal, but you're going to be facing hard hate like Rest in Peace and Chalice of the Void and stuff, could be good. Could be good. I don't know if it is good. You should get a bot for chat to show some love to new subs. How do I do that? I mean, I have bots that acknowledge the subs, but I don't know what to do after that. Hey, it took me long enough to get badges, so the subs now have badges. I'm working one step at a time to get the things for everybody on Twitch. It's overwhelming, to be honest. Like, there's just so many things to do, and I want to get like nice animations for when people sub to my what's it called? Because I don't have any notifications on this client called StreamYard.com, which allows me to like look at your questions. For some reason, they don't have the functionality to give notifications when people like follow or subscribe, but the Streamlabs OBS does, and I'm going to have new animations for that, and hopefully it's going to be fun. Hopefully it's going to be fun. What are we doing here? Skill and draw luck are determining factors. In some ways, yes. A lot comes down to luck. But you can make your own luck. One of my opponents yesterday just commented that Merfolk is one of the hardest strategies in Modern. Definitely is. I mean, we definitely have shown that it can win. I've shown that it can top 8 like Modern challenges I've done it a million times now, and it's just a very difficult deck to play. It's a very rewarding deck for me, but it's a very difficult deck to play. But the difficulty does not necessarily mean... The point is that you can win with it. It's possible. There's a learning curve. You have to earn your victories. And that's the satisfying thing with Merfolk. When you win, you earned it. You earned it. You can't say like, oh, I'm playing with busted cards that should be banned. No, you earned that victory. You had to outplay your opponent. You had to play smart. You had to play well. There's no other way of winning. There's just there's just no other way. You know, when people are winning with a deck, and then one of the cards from that deck get banned and they can't win anymore, well, were you winning with the deck, or was it the cards? Was it the cards, people? What the heck is the black square in the background for? So the idea of the black square, it's just a bunch of foam, and the point is that it prevents the echo in the room, because actually there's a lot of echo in this room. So I've got foam in the background, I've got foam in front of me. So the point is, as the sound bounces, it gets absorbed into the foam, and you don't hear nearly as much echo. And hopefully the sound of this stream is beautiful, crisp quality, beautiful, crisp. I do my best, people. Like, there's a lot of things I can put in a stream, but the most important thing is to have good audio and video quality. Those are very important. I never thought I would do a show like this, so maybe I have to upgrade my webcam to something HD. Like, it's fine, but I could have 4K. 4K could be a thing. Yeah, thanks to the new subs. Oh, look at how beautiful that is. Look at the hearts. I love it. Welcome to the tribe. Welcome to the wave. Thank you for joining the wave. My stream coach, Bother Sean, reminded me that I should bring this back. Well, he suggested it, but a long time ago, I welcomed my patrons to the wave. Join the wave. So anyway, that's what this square is for. Does the Master of Waves pose at 1K followers? What do you mean? I don't get it. They call themselves Goldfish, but yeah! MTG Goldfish has something against the actual merfolk. Unbelievable. If anything, they should be supporting merfolk. Do you feel Wizards is pushing Spirits as the blue-based tempo deck over merfolk? Not really. I don't think they're getting anything more than merfolk, really. And to be quite fair and frank, Spirits has barely gotten any printings of cards at all. When I've tried to build Spirit decks, there actually is not that many Spirits. There's way more merfolk. But it's just that for the very few Spirits that they've printed very high quality Spirits. They've printed tons of garbage for merfolk and just very few playable merfolk. That's just the unfortunate thing. So Spirits doesn't really get a lot of attention. And I guess that's the thing. They just don't get a lot of attention. So when they do give it attention, they give them something. But I don't think they have a preference for what's going to be the blue-based deck. Merfolk is 2.22% of the meta on MTG Goldfish. And it could be higher. It could most definitely be higher. Hashtag no free wins. Yeah, not anymore. At least for Merfolk, we used to have free wins in the form of spreading seas. We don't even have that anymore. What is the bigger thing for you about the deck? The tribe or the playstyle? Oh, the playstyle. I love the playstyle. I mean, originally I just liked Master of Waves and what it did, but now the playstyle of Merfolk is it's just so cool to me. I really enjoy it. Which is why I love playing Merfolk and other tribes. Shows you have skill and not just broken cards / strategies. That's right. That's what we do within the Merfolk community. We earn our victories. We earn the wins. I haven't played Modern since paper events stopped. If I rent a deck on Magic the Gathering Online, what are the threats I need to prepare for in Modern? You want to be prepared for Burn. You want to be prepared for Eldrazi-tron. You definitely have to be prepared for snow control decks. Including Urza decks. You need to be prepared for those. You need to be prepared for... I was just on MTG Goldfish. Sorry, MTG Top 8. Show me MTG Top 8. What is going on here? You want to be prepared for a little bit of Death Shadow, not too much. You're going to want to be prepared for a little bit of red-green Ponza. You want to be prepared for Ad Nauseam, a little bit of Amulet. I would say that's about it. Also, I mean, I'm prepared for Devoted Devastation. Apparently, it's a very large deck online, but I can't play against it. So anyway, those are the things you should be prepared for right now. Make your bed. This is not really a bed. This is actually like a desk. It's not treated as a bed. I know it's a bed there, but we don't actually use it as a bed. I agree. I would make it look nicer, but it's for the most part, it's hiding things. It's hiding things underneath. MTG ASMR stream in the future, yes. My Magic group thinks my Merfolk is busted because I play Spreading Seas and have Island Walk. They hate me because blue is my favorite. You need to spread the word. Your friends need to speak louder to fear Merfolk. Merfolk is great. 4K is not a thing when you can't actually upload better than 1080p. That's true. That's actually quite true, Tuckstep. But that's true. I'm just going to put it at that. There are some like offline videos I would like to do with my webcam. I've found that this is just not high quality enough. Also, okay, well, there's another thing. I would love to like blow my face up. I don't have the option on this client, but whenever I make it bigger with my webcam, it will always get blurrier, if you know what I mean. But if I had a 4K webcam, then I could stretch my face. I could make the image larger without compromising on quality. What do we need for Merfolk to be tier 1? We need a really good one-drop. Champion the Parish. Quantum Bird 96. After I got killed multiple times due to mana issues, I really envy humans for their 20 +4/+4 mana sources now. Yes, they have. It's actually 19 +4/+4. They only have 19 lands. But yeah, they have really consistent mana. However, that makes it easier for them to lose to threat density. So like decks with a lot of removal can beat humans a lot easier than they can beat us because they have got so much more air. The Noble Hierarchs, the Ether Vials, everything. Fear Merfolk. Fear us! Such great emojis. I'm going to get emojis like this soon. Nombo MTG, have you ever played Legacy Death and Taxes? I think it would really appeal to your playstyle. No, only because whenever I play Legacy, I gotta play Merfolk, basically. My favorite is when the opponents snicker at Merfolk at the beginning of the match and then complain cards need to be banned from my deck after the match. A long time ago, I used to hear that Spreading Seas needs to be banned, but I don't hear that at all anymore. But like a long time ago, I did hear things like Spreading Seas needs to be banned, which was like sort of a ridiculous thing. So anyway, that's going to be it for today. Thank you very much for all the questions. Thank you very much for the subscribers. Oh, the subscribers. Thank you very much. Oh, all the love to the subscribers. Basically supporting live streams. I could go back to YouTube, people, and then we don't need to live stream anymore. So thank you very much for showing support to my live streaming career as it, like, I don't know, takes off the best it can. I got to get to partner, though. Hard to do with these morning live streams. It's not as popular as my gameplay stuff. But remember, I do these Coffee and MTG Q&As Mondays to Fridays, currently at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, and we do have gameplay streams Monday, Wednesday, Friday, starting at 1 p.m., usually ending around 4 p.m. to 5 p.m., pending how much time I have. Yeah, and you can all find it here, twitch.tv/NikachuMTG. For all those that are not watching it on Twitch already, if you're already here, you know where to find it. You're doing great. Yes, thank you again, everyone, for watching, everyone for joining me for this delicious cup of coffee. We had some great conversations, great talk about Magic the Gathering. And anyway, so take care, everybody. Okay, before I sign everyone off, we got to raid someone, right? That's just a thing that we do here on Twitch. We need to... Let's go find someone to raid. I should have someone to raid in my... Oops, Magic the Gathering. Failing to load module. Oh no, did my internet go out immediately in the end? No, it did not. Let's raid Harry MTG. Because he's playing... Oh wait, Modern... There's a lot of Modern people playing. Playing bad decks and having fun. Okay, let's raid... Whatever, let's raid Harry MTG. Why not? He's playing the best control deck right now. Some sort of snow control deck. So that is definitely worth doing it. Creator disc... Harry MTG. Let's go raid. This is how we're going to do it. Raid channel... All right, so thank you very much, everyone, for joining me today. That was a fantastic stream, fantastic conversation, and enjoy Harry MTG, how he wins with Snow Control. He's doing incredibly well with the deck. Very strong player. And I will see you next time. Take care. Goodbye.